Alright, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Moss, and welcome back to the channel. Anyways, by the title of this video, I wanted to go ahead and talk about a topic that I honestly think a lot of men could use and probably hear, and especially because of the perspective that I'm about to give. But before I go ahead and I dive into it and we discuss it, be sure to go ahead and smash the like button for your boy. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new and turn on my post notice bell so you never miss out on any of my future video uploads. But without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's jump into the video topic for today. I wanted to go ahead and preface this video by giving you guys a little backstory as to why I wanted to go ahead and talk about this. So, I would say recently, I hung out with one of my boys. I kind of caught up with him, sorry, because it's been a while and we haven't seen each other in a minute. And, you know, we're kind of chilling and stuff like that, catching up. And he was asking me about my dating life and how my love life is going. And, you know, I was telling him a little bit about it and how I was also in this little dilemma that I've been in the past month of whether or not I should continue to, you know, be the man that I am. And, you know, with the way I treat women, which is very well, you know, continue to be a good man, or should I potentially, you know, switch the dark side and, you know, become more of like the bad boy and the heartbreaker and, you know, kind of sleep around a little bit, because I never really honestly cared to sleep around, or it wasn't necessarily a priority. I mean, I never really tried to actually actively go through a hoe phase, this and that, basically. And long story short, he decided to go ahead and proceed to tell me about one of our boys that we have as mutuals. He's a bit closer to him than I am, but, you know, I know of him, stuff like that. And he was just basically telling me how his boy is kind of like the opposite of me. Whereas, you know, I date with intention and, you know, I treat women very well. Whereas his boy is honestly kind of, I guess you could say, kind of like a dog, in the sense of like, you know, he's been having hoes since college, this and that. And my boy was telling me how literally his boy could literally sleep with a girl at the snap of a finger because he has all these girls in his phone. And he doesn't necessarily have to put forth effort into trying to sleep with a girl. And as my boy was trying to, you know, tell me the story and try to convince me of how I shouldn't sleep around, or I shouldn't necessarily get sucked into, I guess you could say, that part of dating, like a lot of guys are trying to, you know, get sucked into, because, you know, a lot of guys aren't getting laid nowadays, and you know, a lot of men's goals is just to simply get laid, you know, to bang chicks and bang as many chicks as possible. And long story short, as my boy is telling me, he then decides to proceed to tell me the part where his boy is starting to get sick of kind of like the whole phase, because he's kind of over it. He's been there, done that, and he wants something more of what my boy has. My boy has been in a great long-term relationship for a while now, and he was telling me how his boy, whenever my boy is out with his girl, and, you know, his boy's out with all of them, his boy would tell my boy about how he's like, damn, like, I wish I could find a woman like yours and I can have something real, kind of like what, you know, my boy and his girl has. And as my boy was telling me this, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, honestly, that does sound kind of nice, in the sense of like, you know, my boy having hoes and, you know, or sorry, his boy having hoes and sleeping around, this and that. Like, you know, it sounds like, you know, cool, because, you know, that's kind of our, I guess you could say, inclination as men. Like, you know, we want to smash, you know, we want to bang chicks, you know, we want to, you know, whether it's one girl or a bunch of girls, you know, like it's kind of our natural inclination to, you know, what's the word, fornicate, as men. So I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool and all, but I was also thinking to myself, I was just like, that comes up with an issue. Because think about it this way, bro. Imagine you didn't necessarily have to put forth any effort, like my boy's boy, in sleeping with the chick. When it comes time for you, bro, to potentially want to settle down, because I don't give a fuck what any of your favorite YouTubers or dating coaches have to say, eventually, bro, sleeping with a bunch of girls becomes tired and meaningless. Now, some guys discover that sooner rather than later, and some guys, don't learn that until, years and years of hoeing. But every guy wants to settle down and eventually, kind of just stop that and focus more on their legacy and, having a family, this and that. But with the problem that comes with that, like I was saying, bro, you wouldn't necessarily be able to develop certain skills in certain aspects of dating that you would otherwise need to be able to, have when it comes time for you to screen a woman for her to potentially be your girlfriend, wife. And not only that, but do you really think when it comes time for you, bro, when you're done with the hoes and you're trying to find a good woman, you think a woman is going to tolerate any of that bullshit, like any of like the games you try to play on her that you used to play on the hoes, or the lack of effort you may be putting into her that you didn't necessarily have to put in with the hoes to get the hoes to sleep with you? Do you really think a good woman is going to tolerate any of that shit? And now, before any of you guys say, oh, all women are hoes, this and that, I genuinely believe not every woman is a hoe. Like, I've met a few, I've seen it on social media sometimes. There are some good women out there, this and that. But you got to think to yourself, bro, like, a good woman is going to want a good man just as much as you of a good man supposedly wants a good woman, or you want a feminine woman, this and that. Like, she's going to want not only her polar opposite of, like, her being feminine and she wanting you to be masculine, but it's like, bro, just like how you don't tolerate women's bullshit, she may not tolerate some of your bullshit. And so with you, going back to my story, being able to just sleep with women right away, you wouldn't be able to pick up on those things. You wouldn't be able to develop certain skills to filter out the hoes from the good women. Because if you just went to straight up sleeping with every single woman at the snap of a finger, you wouldn't be able to see, okay, what red flags does she have? What mannerisms do not like about her? Like, how is she, when we're not, fornicating? Like, can I even tolerate her? Like, you wouldn't be able to develop the skills needed to be able to keep dating that girl for the long term. And basically, I'm saying all of this to say is, to you watching this video, bro, this is why I'm a big advocate for, like, dating women and to continue to date women and to take your women, if you're talking to multiple or you're talking to one, out on dates. Because the stuff you wouldn't necessarily be able to learn in the bedroom, you will be able to learn on a fucking date. Like, you will be able to learn certain social skills. You'll be able to pick up on her mannerisms, see how she is. You'll be able to actually have conversations with her and, pick her brain to see how she is as a person and pick up on, of her having any potential red flags. You will constantly not only learn but sharpen your flirting skills, because you always want to keep the romance alive even as time goes on, this and that. Whereas if you were to, like I said, if you go straight to the bedroom and sleeping with chicks, the only aspects of dating and your game that you may be able to really like level up is probably the skills needed to please her in the bedroom, how to seduce a woman, and then maybe how to physically escalate with a woman. But other than that, I can't really think of anything else that you could potentially like develop, let's say when you're, just sleeping with women and fornicating with them, that you wouldn't otherwise be able to develop, when you're out actually taking them out on dates and actually dating them. So yeah, that's all I really had to say in today's video. Is I think every guy watching this video, bro, I get it, bro. Like, we all want to, sleep with girls, we all want to fornicate, this and that. And don't get me wrong, I myself want to do that shit too. But, like, you can't forget those aspects of dating, because nowadays in today's generation, as much as it does fucking suck, you have to be a well-rounded man. Because if you're not a well-rounded man, I promise you, bro, you will not be able, if it is your goal, to be able to keep a chick around long enough for whatever goal it is you have for the both of you guys. Now, if your goal is to simply just sleep with girls, then go about your business, bro. Like, you don't have to watch this video, but I just simply wanted to make this because when my boy was telling me this, it just made me think about how a lot of guys, their goal is to not only sleep with as many women as possible, but to try and sleep with them as fast as humanly possible. And it's like, bro, if you try to do that, you're going to be skipping out on some of the steps needed to sharpen some of the tools in your tool shed that you may otherwise need to take out to use down the road. But if you guys did enjoy this video and you found some value out of it, be sure to go ahead and smash the like button for your boy. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new because we're on the road to 1K. And then last but not least, turn on my post notification bell so you get notified of all my future video uploads and so that you don't miss out on any of them. I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your day and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace.